Hey guys, welcome to another video that I'm bringing to you for AMZScout. I'm being a representative for them and I've decided to do a third video for you. This video is all about profit margins and suppliers. This is an amazing video and it shows you how you can use the AMZScout tool to really ensure that you have perfect profit margins and find suppliers, find your competitor suppliers, find anyone's suppliers. So before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment straight away, and don't forget to like this video, and let's get straight into it. In this video, we're going to talk all about margins and suppliers. We want to make sure you're doing that absolutely right, and the goals for this video is to know what your margins are, what are good margins, and to make sure that you find a quality product from a quality supplier. Now, I've written up a bunch of notes on my computer here, some questions that I want to address and some other notes, so if I glance over to the computer, that's totally normal. Okay, so first we're going to talk about margins. Firstly, what it is, what does that mean? What does that word mean, margins? So let's say you buy something from China for £2 and you sell it for £4. Okay, you're going to be making £2 profit. So you're going to be making technically 100%. You're going to be making 100% of your money back because you spent £2 and you made £2. Okay, so you spent £2, you're getting £4. So if you take away the £2 for the cost of the item, you've got £2 left, or dollars. Let's do it in dollars. So the reason that's the main reason that we want to price over $10, because we want to make sure our margins are always going to be good enough. And when it comes to sourcing from China, you're going to incur certain costs. You're going to incur the Amazon costs, which is very normal because it's very fair for Amazon to be charging you, seeing as they're going to be fulfilling all the items, they're going to be doing the customer service. So that's that cost, but that cost is going to come off when you actually sell the product. The cost you need to look at the beginning are the shipping costs, the actual item cost, and depending on where you are, you might have some sort of import cost. But again, we're not going to worry about that cost because that's not something we can plan for at the moment. Let's just talk about the item cost and the shipping cost. So again, you want to make sure you're pricing over $10. You want to make sure that's the that's the goal of the product you're trying to find. And I'm going to show you an example of how you can calculate the different margins using the AMZScout extension. Okay, so let's go to Amazon over here, and you can see we've just searched for newborn socks. Okay, so this is just a random product, and if we go over here and click the AMZScout PRO Extension tool, again, this is something you get with Chrome, and you'll be able to find that in the link in the description if you're interested. But what you can do is you can click on FBA fees, okay, and you can put in the product price. You can put in the product, what you wouldn't put in the product price because it has a product price there. So let's choose one that's a bit more expensive. Let's go for $10.99. Okay, so you'll be clicking the FBA fee number, and then the profit calculator comes up. So what you would do is you'd put, let's say this item costs 0.50, right? 50 cents, and we can find out exactly how much this item costs by going to Alibaba, and we're going to do that a bit later in the video. But I'm just putting it in here so you can get an idea of your margins and all of that stuff. So so it tells you the product weight, it tells you the product size, it tells you how much the storage cost, the pick and package, the referral fee, it tells you everything. Literally, this tells you absolutely everything. So what you can see is the net margin is 47%, okay? Now, what is a good margin to aim for? Well, in terms of just general business, it's good to aim for 40%, like just day-to-day business, companies like aiming for 40% profit margin, and that is exactly what we like to aim for, between a 40 and a 50% profit margin. So the fact that this shows 47.69 profit margin is amazing. Now again, we have just put in 50 cents here. The chance of getting this product for 50 cents, including shipping, is going to be unrealistic. It could be $1.50, which means the margin goes to $38.59, and we're going to address selling cheap items again later in this video. But I just wanted to show you that feature of the AMZScout tool, the extension tool, I should say the Chrome extension, just to show you how amazing it is. I mean, remember when I had to first start like sorting out profit margins and doing all of that sort of stuff when I first started on Amazon, we didn't have any of this sort of stuff. We had to literally work this out like we had to completely work this out all on our own. We even made Excel spreadsheets that like did all the calculations and worked it all out, pretty much like this, but it wasn't this pretty, I'm sure of that. So that is pretty much what the profit calculator tool looks like. And I'm gonna answer some questions now. So why do people buy low margin items? Like, why would they do that? Why would someone want to buy a low margin item, maybe a cheaper item? Let's say they were selling it for $10 and it cost them $4. Why would they want to do that? Or maybe it cost them $2, whatever it may be. Well, the main reason is they can buy so many units. They can have a huge number of stock, which means this could be a great strategy for new sellers, because they could do like a mass giveaway, or they can do a mass price reduction. And if they're playing with like 100 items, there's not much they can do when it comes to selling on Amazon. It's going to be hard. It's going to be harder. It's all possible, but it's going to be harder. Whereas if they have 1,000 or 2,000 items at their disposal, they're going to be able to test a lot more different methods to work their way up to the #1 spot. So that's one benefit of low margin items, like going for a cheaper item. Now, one thing, or some things, but this one main thing which you can't forget in terms of calculating into your overall cost is the PPC, which is basically your advertising. I don't want to complicate you with different like advertising jargon, but PPC is basically your advertising, and you have to understand that when you sell something on Amazon, when you're first starting to sell something on Amazon, you use Amazon ads. Well, a lot of people use Amazon ads. We use Amazon ads, and I know a lot of people who don't, but using Amazon ads will speed up the process basically. So you want to factor in PPC costs, and the way you can do that is actually you can go to Amazon. Once you've created your Amazon Seller Central account, you can actually set up an ad and get an idea for how much you're going to be paying per click, right? Another thing you want to consider is inventory. So when you buy your first batch of inventory, you want to account for having to buy your second batch of inventory. So you don't want to, let's say you buy 100 newborn socks and that's it, all your money is gone. You want to make sure that you're going to be able to afford to restock without actually selling all of these original ones first. For example, if you buy 100 newborn socks, you want to restock at like 50 or after you've sold 50 or 60, so that you have 40 left in stock and you've now restocked. So by the time your new stock comes in, you would have just been going out of stock. When we first started on Amazon, we couldn't afford this. So we would buy stock, we would sell out, we would buy, we would sell out, we would buy, we would sell out until we could afford to restock whilst we still had some in stock. So make sure to take that into account when you're ordering. Are you going to be able to reorder, or will you have to wait to sell all your items before you can reorder? Because that could be a deal breaker for some people. Another thing I would recommend is when it comes to reinvesting your profits, yes, you could do two things. You could take the money out and pay yourself and go and, I don't know, buy fancy cars or go and eat out every night, do whatever you want to do, depending on how much your profits are. I would recommend from the beginning, don't take out like any sort of profits for yourself. Reinvest all your profits into the business on new stock, maybe even new products, and that will help the business grow so much more. I can't tell you how many people take out all their profit, like go crazy because, oh, I've got money now, and then realize, crap, I can't reorder, I don't know what to do, I've got no money left in the business, because they didn't reinvest their profits. So reinvest your profits until you're making enough money where you can also reinvest and take some for yourself. I think that's very important to consider. Right, now we're going to talk about suppliers, and we're going to talk about finding the product on Alibaba. Now the Pro Extension tool, right? The AMZScout PRO Extension tool has an amazing feature, and I've only found this feature like a couple of weeks ago and I've started using it. And basically what that is, so you can see these are all the products. Okay, I'll zoom in a bit. These are all the products, and what we can do is we can go into these three dots here and we can search, and we can click, sorry, find at Alibaba, get keywords, find at Google, or copy ASIN. Now we're going to click find at Google, because find at Alibaba doesn't always work, it sometimes works. We're going to click find at Google, okay, and once we've done that, this is what's going to show up, okay, and if we go back, that is pretty much this product, okay. It's pretty much this product. It's a very, very similar product. This is pretty much it. Now we can click that, and over here you can see it says Alibaba. So we can click visit, and now it takes us to where we can pretty much source that exact product. Okay, so we just click it and get a quotation, and you can fill it all out and you can submit, right? How cool is that? That you can literally find a product on Amazon, right? You can do this for any of them. You can just click and click find at Google. Once you've found it at Google, you just have to click the visit once you've gone onto it. So you click the image and you click visit, and you can see it's Alibaba. These are all Alibaba, Alibaba, Alibaba. So it's so cool, right? You can literally find that exact product. I think that's super, super useful because it allows you to find the right supplier if you want to find the exact product. And if someone is selling for a certain price, you can assume, okay, they're probably sourcing it for quite cheap if they're selling for this amount, and you can find that exact supplier. Now, there's a few things to consider. We're going to go to the Alibaba website, and I'm going to search for newborn socks. Newborn, let's just do newborn socks, right? And there's a few things that you should really consider, right? And these things to consider are because you don't want to get scammed, you don't want anything bad to happen, so you want to have a few boxes ticked, okay? And those boxes are the gold plus supplier and the trade assurance. And that should really cover you because if they're a gold supplier and they have trade assurance, it means you can actually pay through Alibaba and you'll be pretty safe, okay? And if we have a look, there are actually 20 to 50 cents a pair. So making 48% profit margin like we saw right at the beginning of the video is actually possible, right? Now, so once we've done that, once we've ticked those different things, the gold supplier, the trade assurance, there are other things that you can there are other things you can do to make sure you're really, really okay. And those sort of things are like you can pay with PayPal. So we personally, like I personally have a few different levels of security. So I would either do trade assurance, which is very safe, or I would pay with PayPal through a credit card, okay? So what does that mean? So that means putting your credit card on your PayPal account, and when you pay, use your credit card with your PayPal account. So that's like double protection because PayPal protect you and most credit card companies also protect you. So we have like a double layer, it's like super protection, okay? It's like a double crazy iron fist of protection. We use PayPal and a credit card, and then when we pay the supplier, if we ever have a problem, we can go to PayPal, and if PayPal can't help, we'll go to our credit card. If our credit card also can't help, what can you do? But generally, they will help. And this hasn't really ever happened to us. There was one time where they tried, but we realized what was going on and we stopped it right then and there. But it's just, that's what I like to do, to have all those extra levels of protection, really. Now, there are a few things which I'm going to talk about. So firstly, you want to get a sample or a prototype of the product, okay? The reason for this is you can really see the quality of the product when it's in your hand. When it's not in your hand, it's very hard to see the quality of the product, to see the consistency and all that sort of stuff. So you want to get a prototype. And a little tip with getting a prototype or a sample is generally you'll have to pay a sample fee, which could be about maybe $50, and that could be just for shipping the item to you. So the actual product doesn't cost you anything, but the shipping does. So what you can say to your supplier is, okay, I'm paying $50 here. I want you to put 10 different items in this package, 10 different types of socks, different qualities, different colors, so I can really see which one I want to choose. And that's just a little tip to get a lot more for your $50, or a lot more for your money for paying for those samples. We've now passed the stage of we've got a good product with good margins, we found a good supplier, and we need to ship it somewhere. So we can ship it to like one of three places. We can ship it straight to Amazon, we can ship it to our house or office, or we can ship it to a prep center. Now, the benefit of shipping to Amazon is you don't even have to touch it. It goes from the supplier to Amazon, done. Right? You can sit back and watch money come in. However, when it's your first few orders, I recommend shipping it to either your house or a prep center. The benefits of shipping to your house or office is you can actually see the item, you can see the quality, and when you get like 100 or 500 items in, you can see the consistency of quality. So with a sample, they might send you the best quality item. Whereas if you're ordering the entire batch to your house, you can really see if the quality stays consistent throughout all the products, okay? And that's pretty much what a prep center will do as well. A prep center will, well, firstly, they'll label it if you need them to, they'll package it if they need them to, they'll check the quality, they'll take photos and send it to you, they'll check if there's any defects, all of that sort of stuff. They'll basically inspect the product. And there are some people out there, like FBA Inspections does this. They may have changed their name. That's who we used when we first started. But there are people out there who do this for you, And I think it's really good, but if you want to save money because you don't want to spend on prep centers and all these added costs, then I would recommend just sending it to your house, because no one is going to be able to really tell you how good the product is except for yourself. No one's going to really say, I think this, this, and this. Well, they'll be able to tell you, but only you will be able to really be happy with seeing it yourself, if that makes sense. Now, when you've ordered a few times from a supplier, there's going to be an element of like trust, okay? And that could be beneficial in a few different ways. So one, you can make orders even if you don't have like the money up front. You could just be like, I need an order, I'll be able to pay you in a week's time, is that okay? A lot of the time they'll say, yeah, that's fine, don't worry, we trust you now, we've sent you thousands of items, we're all good. Another thing is you can probably get them to speed up your order. So if the first time your order takes 15, 20 days, as you get to know them, like we had our supplier recently make an order for us in 3 days. 3 days. And we know when we first made an order with a supplier, it took 2.5 weeks. Now you could be thinking, well, they just like scammed you that first time, taking 2.5 weeks. But actually, not really, because now we have a good relationship with them. So we told them, hey, we're about to run out of stock. We need an immediate order of 1,000 items. Please, can you do like something really fast for us? And they said, yeah, we're gonna get it to you. I think they said in 5 days. So 3 days and then 2 days shipping. And we were just like, brilliant, thank you so much. We'll send the money when it's ready, done. Okay, and a lot of the time, even from the beginning, you'll be able to pay 30% up front and then 70% when the order's done, when you see images. Like when you see, when they'll send you photos and you'll be able to pay the 70%. But when you have trust with your supplier, it could get cheaper for you. It could the whole process will get faster, and the best thing is you don't have to send it to your house or to a prep center anymore. You can send it directly from the supplier to Amazon. So that cuts out a good 3 or 4 days, and not only does it cut out 3 or 4 days, it cuts out your work time. So you don't have to sit there and manually look at everything or pay someone to look at everything. You can literally be on holiday, think, oh, we need some more stock, so just text the supplier, hey, can we order 1,000 items? Done. You're still on holiday and they send it to Amazon, and it's just the wheel keeps turning basically. So you keep getting sales, which is basically that's the aim for this business. You want to be able to send your stuff from the supplier to Amazon and just sit back and watch the money come in. That's the idea of passive income, really. So let me just go over a few supplier management tips. Basically, you want to be as nice as possible to these people. You don't want to be rude. You have to understand that there's going to be a language barrier of some sort, okay? You want to be polite. You don't want to make ridiculous demands, and you don't want to offer ridiculous prices. So if you're trying to source a wallet, and you can see they're all going for about $8 or $5, you don't want to go in there and say to your supplier, can you make it for us for $1? And I understand you want to negotiate, but you have to understand what's reasonable. You don't want to say, oh, can you make it for $1 for us? Because they're just going to be like, they're going to take that they're going to take that as an offense. And a lot of the time, there's a miscommunication, and sometimes they can take things offensively when you don't actually mean them to be offensively. So just try and be polite the whole time, and understand that there is going to be some sort of language barrier there, and just try and make sure that you're both on the same page. And when you're asking for things, like let's say you want logos, or let's say you need it to be shipped faster, try and be nice and reasonable the whole time, okay? And just like an added tip, try and remember holidays, and even if you know their birthdays or you know their breaks, just remember those and wish them a happy holiday, a happy Christmas, or happy New Year's. We want to have a really, really good relationship with our supplier, because this is going to be a long-term thing. You don't want to screw up this relationship. And that's pretty much it for this video. That's what I can say about margins, about suppliers, how to talk to them, how to make sure you're getting a good product. I hope it helped you. I hope the profit calculator with the Chrome extension tool, the AMZScout PRO Chrome extension, I hope this profit calculator that you can see on the screen right now helped you and made you realize that how good it is, because I personally use this the whole time. When I'm doing product research, because I have 3 screens here, so I've got the profit calculator up at all times, I've got Amazon up, and then I've got the Chrome extension, the AMZScout Chrome extension, so I can I'm in full product research mode when I'm using this. I think it's really cool. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope it helped you. If you have any questions or anything, leave a comment down below. I'm sure it can help. My name is Shimmy Morris, and I've made this video for AMZScout, and if you want to check out my channel, my YouTube channel, because I have one as well, that teaches you all about business, Amazon. It tells you more in-depth videos about AMZScout, as well as other things like making money on YouTube, affiliate marketing, that sort of stuff. So that will also be in the link in the description. Again, I hope this video helped. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.